In this video, I'll talk about the mineral cycles. So we'll go through first definition of mineral cycles. And now you know most of them already have done water cycles, the carbon cycle, nitrogen cycles, but that's basically it. Together they're called the mineral cycles. You should be, by the end, be able to explain the importance of those cycles. So what kind of contribution do they bring to the ecosystem? And then you should also understand how the mineral cycles enable life to be sustained over a long period of time. So that life can be sustained not just in one generation, but for generation after generation. These mineral cycles make sure that things get recycled and life can be sustained over many millions of years. Alright, so we'll start with definition first. Definition for the mineral cycle is that the mineral cycle is a biogeochemical and ecological process that regulates the flow, distribution, and migration of mineral nutrients across the Earth's surface. Basically, in summary, just saying that it's making sure that it can recycle or bring in the essential minerals we need for life. And those essential minerals we need for life are things like S for sulfur, N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, C for carbon, and then obviously the water cycle as well as H2O. Those are some of the 5 most important minerals we need. Now, why are they important? We need the C, which stands for carbon. We need carbon for glucose, which is basically starch. We can make out of carbon, we can make things like starch, which the plants produce doing photosynthesis, and then we can eat the plants, right? So the carbon cycle allows you to make sugar, and that means high energy food. The so that carbohydrates is part of the carbon cycle, but carbon and phosphorus and nitrogen is also important for proteins, right? So we need these different minerals to make proteins, which are building blocks of life, right? So the proteins are building blocks of life, and without those simple elements, nitrogen, phosphorus, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, we wouldn't be able to actually make most of our, and also sulfur, most of our proteins. So we also have nucleic acids, which is DNA. Right, so the phosphorus, the nitrogen, the carbon, all those are also important for nucleic acids, which is DNA, and obviously all life is made using DNA. Fats are mainly carbohydrates, hydrogen, oxygen, so again we need those minerals to make fats as well. So what I'm saying in summary, very basic, is these mineral cycles get you the important minerals, things like water, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, and carbon. And from those basic minerals, we can then make important building blocks of life: carbohydrates, proteins, fat, nucleic acids, etc. Now these mineral cycles, and again you'll be actually researching them in detail, which is the carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, the phosphorus cycle, the sulfur cycle, and the water cycle. So each group will look at one of these in particular and how that impacts your ecosystem. But without these cycles, the ecosystems wouldn't be able to sustain themselves. Right? So they're absolutely important to make sure that life can keep going. So our learning intentions, again, we need to know the definition of these mineral cycles. So they're just the cycles that return all these useful minerals, which we just mentioned the names of: phosphorus, carbon, etc., back into the soil or from the air into the soil, which then therefore can be used by living things. The importance, well, again, all life is basically reliant on these important elements: so phosphorus, sulfur, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, and I'm missing one, nitrogen, right? So these mineral cycles provide these important minerals, and thereby we can use them to make whatever we need to make in living things. And then explain how mineral cycles enable life to be sustained over long periods of time. Right? So once these minerals are used up, well, we need to cycle them. If they're just used up and then never used, never recycled, well, life couldn't survive for very long. But these mineral cycles allow you to be able to actually reuse them after life has passed away. So after decay, things have decayed, it will get reused over time. But that's what you need to know from this video.